gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from Batman to Star Wars and everything in between. Today, to honor the release of Matt Reeves' new film, The Batman, I wanted to do a review of Batman 3 Jokers, written by Geoff Johns, drawn by Jason Fabok, and inked by Brad Anderson. So, this story is about 5 years in the making. So, to give you the backstory, in 2015, Geoff Johns and Jason Fabok were wrapping up their run on Justice League, and they were doing this story called Darkseid War, and in it, Batman sits on Metron's chair, the Mobius chair, which grants him infinite knowledge, and he tests this by asking who murdered Thomas and Martha Wayne, and it answers correctly by saying Joe Chill. And that confirms that it works. And so then Batman asks, who is the Joker? And it asks him, which one? So then Batman doesn't look into this for like 6 years. And it's really funny. But, well, because Johns and Fabok were working on other stuff, and they were trying to work on this at the same time, but time constraint pushed it back, so it was heavily delayed, and eventually in 2020 this was released. So, this is going to be a spoiler review of this book, so I would definitely recommend that you read this for yourself, because the writing, for the most part, is pretty good, and the art is phenomenal. It is well worth the price of admission, just for the art alone. But, with that being said, 3 Jokers starts off as Batman returns home after fighting the Penguin. He's hurt and Alfred is patching him up. Then he hears about these 3 men who were murdered at the Ace Chemical Plant. And for those of you who are in the know, the Ace Chemical Plant is where the Joker became the Joker. And so Batman meets Commissioner Gordon and Detective Bullock there, and then Batgirl shows up, and they start investigating, and then we see Red Hood, who is Jason Todd, who was the second Robin before the Joker murdered him in A Death in the Family, which you can check my review of. I'll be leaving a link to that, as well as all of my social media and podcast in the description of this video. And on my podcast, my older brother Coleman and I will be doing a review of The Batman. Spoiler alert, we really enjoyed it. So, after they figure out who the victims are, we see this abandoned shack. And we see the 3 Jokers. So there's the criminal, the clown, and the comedian. So the criminal is the original Joker from the Golden Age of comic books, the clown is the Joker from the Silver and Bronze Ages, and the comedian is the modern Joker. So everything from the late 1980s to now. And if you are curious about the Gold, Silver, and Bronze Age, my first 3 episodes of my podcast, I do a breakdown and explain what those are, so you might want to check that out for a little bit of context. So, skipping ahead a bit, Batman, Robin, well, Red Hood, and Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, trace the Joker to this aquarium, in which they reference the Joker's 5-Way Revenge and The Laughing Fish. Both stories came out in the 1970s, the Bronze Age. And so then they defeat the Joker, and also it's revealed that Gaggy, Joker's sidekick from the 60s, has returned and is helping Joker with this part of the plan. But they defeat the Joker and Gaggy, and Batman's like, watch him, I'm going to go track down the other 2 Jokers. And Joker starts taunting Red Hood, talking about how he beat him to a bloody pulp and then exploded him. And he's like, why are you wearing my old moniker as the Red Hood? You know, that's weird. And Jason's like, I'm using it to, you know, prove that I'm better than you, or like I'm owning my shame or whatever. And anyway, yada yada yada. Then he taunts Batgirl, and then Jason, in a fit of rage, pulls out his Beretta 92 pistol and shoots him in the head. And thus ends the Silver and Bronze Age Joker. Barbara is understandably upset, and Jason's like, well, you would have done it, and she's like, and walks away. And so it's really trying to explain, Batman's killing rule, or lack thereof, no killing, and, the Joker just brutalized these two young people, and it pushed Jason over the edge, and he murders him. But was it that Joker? So, in the promotions of this story, they were always like, oh, which one is which Joker? Who are they? We'll read to find out who they are. But we never get a name. We never get, like, Jack from the 89 movie, or Arthur from the 2019 movie, or, like, Robert from whatever. We never know who they actually are, which is a little confusing and very frustrating, because they're like, they promise that, but some people are like, fine by me, I don't really care. But Geoff Johns can write some really good stories, like Green Lantern Rebirth, or Flash Rebirth, or Blackest Night. Check out my review of that. And then he writes things like Doomsday Clock, which is just, oh my gosh. It's either a hit or a miss with him. Like I said, Jason Fabok's artwork is so good. It is just worth the price for that. And speaking of which, let me show you some of his art. Excuse me. Okay, here's a cool shot of Batgirl kicking down a door with some lightning behind her. And here's the Joker torturing Jason. And yeah, really good stuff. I mean, not what's going on there, but the artwork is really good. Anyway, so let's just get to the Joker's plan. So the Joker's plan is to turn Joe Chill, the man who murdered Thomas and Martha Wayne, into a new Joker, so that the Joker's fights with Batman will be more meaningful, because Batman and Joker don't really know that much about each other, and it's revealed that the comedian, the modern Joker, knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and that's after he murders the criminal, the original Joker, and he's like, ooh, I'm the only Joker left, but was I always the real Joker? Ooh. And also, this is basically a sequel to Batman the Killing Joke. Check out my review of that. And so in that story, the Joker was this failed comedian who was married to this nice woman, and she was pregnant with their child, and then she died in an accident, and then he became the Joker after falling into the chemicals. But in this, it's revealed that he was an abusive husband, and she left him, she faked her death, moved to Alaska, gave birth to her son. And Batman found out about this, and he went to Alaska to see if she's okay. She and the kid are alright, and then he goes back to Gotham City in the state of New York, and, continues his thing with the Joker. And, but yeah, also we reveal that Joe Chill is dying of cancer, and he tried to write a few letters to Bruce Wayne to apologize after all this time, but he couldn't bring himself to do it, because, like, how do you put that in a letter? Like, I'm sorry I murdered your mother and father, over something as, trivial as me being desperate for cash, or me, just being jealous of that, and whatever. But eventually, Bruce saves Joe from becoming the Joker, and eventually learns to forgive him. So he gets over that. And it's a nice character moment for Bruce. We have nice moments, but then it's ruined by other stuff in this, like, the Joker's wife is still alive and she gave birth to their kid, or, the original Joker, it hurts for him to smile or laugh, and then, you know, they don't like the clown's jokes, you know, the other Jokers. Or anyway, to wrap up a long story short, or not so short, Batman stops the comedian after the comedian murders the criminal, and he reveals to Alfred that he knew who the Joker was, but we never learn his name. It's very frustrating for everyone involved, and we reveal that Commissioner Gordon knows that his daughter is Batgirl, but you know, the rest of the Bat family doesn't know, and yeah, it's going back to the status quo, sort of, with a little shake-up. But I mean, I liked some parts of it, but the rest of it, oh my gosh, what the heck were you thinking? Anyway, yeah, so this is sort of setting the stage for what's to come with Batman and the Joker's relationship, because, oh, the Joker now knows who Bruce Wayne is and who Barbara Gordon and Jason Todd are, and I'm assuming Dick Grayson as Nightwing, the original Robin, and yada yada yada. But, you know, I definitely recommend that you read this for yourself to form your own opinion. And yeah, I mean, so in DC Rebirth, they take the 2011 reboot, the New 52, and they mix it together with everything that came before. So they're saying that everything from the 1930s to now happened. So it's a little less confusing, but still very confusing. Modern comics suck. And yeah, so I definitely recommend that you buy it for yourself. I mean, I enjoyed reading it for the most part, and I enjoyed making this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Leave a comment telling me any suggestions for future videos, or if you've read this story, what you thought about it. Give me constructive criticism. I'll link my social media and Patreon and podcast in the description. And thank you to those who do support me on Patreon. You can go to that and support me for as little as $3 a month, or you can have your own custom one-time payment if you want to help out the channel. And you can get early access to videos and podcasts. You can vote on polls, and you can get access to merchandise like a shirt or a hat. Well, actually, no hats. A shirt or a coffee mug or a sweater with my channel logo on it. And you can also get access to my original writing projects. And want to thank those who support me there. Thank you to my subscribers. And thanks for watching.